Did you know Nike started with only $500? And then after making millions in their company, their competitor, Asics, the shoe company, tried to rob them. Well, I'm going to tell you about that and how they grew to be a multi-billion-dollar powerhouse. And you can take a lot of these practical things I share in this story and implement them into your life and into your business. This is really so intriguing because most people think Nike started with athletes, with billion-dollar ads, and with celebrity endorsements. But the truth, the real truth, is that Nike started with a broke college runner and his research paper. This is really what birthed the origin of Nike. But what really brought it all together, what really brought all of this together was a loan for $500. All right, I'm gonna break it down for you guys. This is an absolutely crazy story. Make sure that you stick around and watch the whole thing. In 1962, a 24-year-old named Phil Knight sat in his bedroom writing what will become one of the most valuable business plans in history. His idea was simple. Japanese sneakers were way cheaper and lighter than the German brands that were dominating the US tracks at that time. The problem is the Japanese sneakers did not exist inside of the US, and that was the perfect problem for Phil to solve. Phil knew it was going to be a long shot. I mean, he even called it his crazy idea. But the thing is that he really believed in it. So Phil made a move that most people would never even consider. My man's borrowed $500 from his dad so he could buy an airplane ticket to go to Japan, and then he walked right into the headquarters of a Japanese shoe company named Onitsuka Tiger. Phil didn't even have a business before approaching these people. All he had was his belief in his idea and the boldness to go after it. Somehow, they still gave this man exclusive distribution rights for the United States. Yo, that deal changed everything. Phil came home and launched a company called Blue Ribbon Sports. This dude was slinging shoes out of the trunk of his car like they were mixtapes in the hood or something. My man sold sneakers at track meets and at any other random place that he needed to. He boxed them up by hand, and he ran everything from his parents' basement. Phil reached out to his old coach, Bill Bowerman, and Bill Bowerman came on board to help Phil with this crazy idea. Now, back then, they designed shoes using a waffle iron. They used a waffle iron to mold the shoes so that they could grip better. Yo, these people were not trying to build a brand. They were really trying to solve a problem for runners just like them. Here's where the story gets really crazy. One day, a shipment from Onitsuka started to show up late, and then them joints just stopped coming altogether. Communication went completely silent, and Phil learned the truth. His plug was secretly negotiating with other distributors behind his back. They were trying to cut this man out of the US deal that he had worked so hard and so long to build. They wanted the market he built, they just didn't want him in it. Yo, Phil wasn't having that, so he fought back. He sued them for breach of contract, and he actually won. After that, he couldn't trust them. So even while they were in litigation, he stayed 2 steps ahead of them. That's when Phil created a new name for the company. He designed a new swoosh logo that he only paid $35 for, and then Nike was born. Now, after a battle over the Nike Cortez, which was originally a collaboration design between Nike and Onitsuka, the courts also made the judgment that the shoe name Nike Cortez belonged to Nike, and Onitsuka could keep the design, but they needed to rename the shoe and not have the Nike logo. That's the reason why the Asics Corsair and the Nike Cortez look nearly identical. Since Phil won that court order, the Nike Cortez was 100% his shoe. By 1980, Nike had gone public, and that $500 loan that funded this crazy idea, it turned into a multi-billion-dollar empire. But here's the thing, Nike's success didn't come from talent. It didn't come from timing. It came from access to capital at the moment that he needed it. Without that $500 loan, there would be no way possible that Phil could have flown to Japan, and none of this would have worked out for him. I want to be clear, Nike would have still existed, but he would not have been the founder. Our dreams don't just come to us. They come to several people, but the one to take action on it first is the one to own it. So if you have a vision but lack the funding to move when it matters, I help entrepreneurs access the capital they need to start, grow, or scale their business so they can live their dream life before somebody else does. $500 changed Phil Knight's life forever. Imagine what you could build if I got you $150,000. Comment the word help below if you need access to capital, and comment and let me know, what would you do with the money once you got it? What would you build with the expertise that you have in your industry? Comment below and let me know. You have just tuned into Behind the Business with CEO Josh Earl. Let's go.